This is Industry Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we analyze a different industry. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about the tech industry. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hello Aluxers and welcome back to our channel. The special topic of today is technology, the driving force of our modern, fast-paced world. It's quite hard to imagine where the world would be without it, right? It permeates every aspect of our lives, our work, social life, free time, and even our search for love. Yet we seem to take it for granted and seldom question what role it plays in our lives, even as it's significantly becoming more and more intertwined with who we are. Educating ourselves, as usual, is the best way to find out how to use it properly and largely to our advantage. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. So, take a seat, relax, and let's get going. Here are the 15 things you didn't know about the tech industry. Number 1. Technology is and has been everywhere. We've always used technology to change our surroundings and make a better life for ourselves. Since the Neolithic era, when we discovered fire and invented the wheel, technology, or the science of the craft, has enabled us to produce goods and later services. Also, you can't talk about this topic without mentioning the immense progress that we've made in terms of communication. We now interact constantly through the internet, phone, and are always connected with each other, even if we are many miles apart. However, the word technology wasn't used in the same way we use it today. Actually, before the 20th century, it was mainly about describing the study of practical crafts, or to refer to a technical education. Number 2. We still haven't figured out how the pyramids were built. There are many theories out there about how the pyramids of Egypt were built, but we just don't know for sure. Archaeologists and scientists have figured out, however, that slaves would move heavy stones on sledges. Water would be used to wet the sand so the stones wouldn't sink in, and someone actually had the job to throw water in the sand. A perfect example is the pyramids of Giza, with their hidden chambers and puzzling voids. They were built entirely without advanced technology. Recently, a researcher named Glenn Dash has figured out that the ancient Egyptians would use a rod named gnomon that cast a shadow. They used this to calculate the alignment of the 3 pyramids, which is actually perfect. Number 3. VR can be used for medical purposes in the future. Virtual reality is actually amazing, and not only because it has taken the gaming world to a whole new level. It's not really obvious right now, but VR is silently taking over different industries and will transform how we interact and mostly how we learn. Since the introduction of the Oculus and HTC Vive, it has become a trend in education, and many businesses are trying to explore new possibilities on the market. A great example is the use of VR in medical training. Just think about it. Would you rather learn about the heart by reading an article or by studying a 3D model of the heart? The choice is a no-brainer. Number 4. There are lots of unknown women inventors. Generally speaking, women have remained anonymous for a large part of history, mostly because their accomplishments would not have been taken seriously centuries ago. This is also true for women investors whose names are virtually unknown to most of us. For example, a lot of people use cabinet beds, a bed that you can fold into a desk, especially in dorm rooms. It was invented by Sarah Good, who was granted the patent in 1888. Another woman, Eunice Foote, defined the greenhouse effect, and physician Frances Oldham Kelsey refused to authorize thalidomide to be sold to the public because of its devastating effects that caused birth defects. And if you're an astronomy fan, did you know that Maria Mitchell was the first woman to be recognized as an astronomer and discovered a comet? Number 5. The richest tech guy is Bill Gates with a net worth of $91.7 billion. Bill Gates needs no introduction, but in 1988, when he was featured in the Forbes World's Billionaires list, he was still building his tech empire. At that time, his net worth was $1.4 billion, and he's been the wealthiest person in the world for most of the past 24 years. Now he's number 2, with $91.7 billion. So what happened? Well, he mostly donated his money and uses his fortune to solve world problems, such as a lack of access to healthcare and extreme poverty. So the $91.7 billion actually is without counting the $31 billion he's invested in the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Number 6. The tech industry wants to attract more women. Tech has a problem, and it's a gender imbalance. In 2015, only a quarter of tech employees in the US were women, and in the UK, it fared worse, with only 17%. Some companies have realized that they are missing out on great talent and have adopted some strategies to correct this. A good strategy is training recruiting staff to be aware they have an unconscious bias when hiring new staff. Other techniques include deleting gender info from resumes, giving more maternity rights, and changing the way they advertise tech jobs in the first place in order to attract more women. Number 7. Intel was involved in a microprocessor scandal. Researchers have found a flaw in the very core of computer chips that mean almost any recent device could be insecure and give up the sensitive information it's protecting. The bug could affect everything from the phone in your pocket to the servers that help send it in. You might want to know this for your own device's safety. The truth is that we have to work more on improving data security, and the latest Intel microprocessor scandal is a great example of that. Apparently, the computer chips have a flaw, so recent devices could not protect the information that they're receiving. And if you think that's not too bad, figure this. From your personal mobile phone to the servers that help run it, they are all affected. Also, this has been going on for the last 2 decades, and fixing this problem is very complicated to say the least. Intel's stock is down 3.4%, while rival AMD's has increased by 5.2%. Number 8. The first car was viewed as a weird thing that would never work. People and their fear for change. Throughout history, great inventions were seen as suspicious, and many people tended to doubt their potential. The first car is no exception. Carl Benz, the inventor of the internal combustion engine, was 100% dedicated to his work. His vision was of a world in which transportation would be faster and easier. Remember, at the time people still traveled in horse-drawn carriages. His associates and Max Rose, his partner, were among the skeptics, even if Rose invested money in the endeavor. But that does go to show that naysayers should sometimes just, be ignored, especially if you have a great idea. Number 9. Blockchain and cryptocurrency are still viewed with skepticism. In terms of more recent technology, blockchain seems to be discussed everywhere, yet few people know what it is or, to put it bluntly, don't want to have it in their companies. The fields that are most likely to implement it are in the finance, insurance, and telecommunications industries. Tech companies are especially wary of overhauling their information technology department in order to implement blockchain. Other reasons include a potential change of organizational culture, and the skills that the implementation would require are hard to find. A recent survey from Gartner is pretty telling. Out of almost 300 chief information officers that were surveyed, only 1% said they adopted any kind of blockchain in their companies. Number 10. The most expensive gadget in the world is a smartphone. You may love technology and wait for each new phone release like it's your job, but would you shell out $15 million for an iPhone? That's how much the world's most expensive device costs. Built by jeweler Stuart Hughes, the phone was custom-made using gold and diamond pieces. The outer case is 24-karat gold and the corners are made of diamonds. Plus, get this, the home button is a black diamond. That actually sounds more like a piece of art than a phone, and it would be pretty hard to assemble it since it took Hughes more than 2 months to complete. Oh, by the way, if you want to find out some more about diamonds, make sure to check out our 15 Things You Didn't Know About Diamonds video by clicking in the top right corner. Number 11. Elon Musk is investing and developing in multiple areas. He is everywhere in the news right now, but up until recent years, Elon Musk was mostly known only to tech lovers. The South African-born magnate, inventor, and engineer has built himself the reputation of being a scientist, businessman superstar, and for good reason. He's the CEO, founder, and lead designer of SpaceX. He's also co-founded and is the CEO of Tesla and Neuralink. However, his track record of innovative endeavors does include PayPal, high-speed transportation systems, Solar City, and OpenAI, a non-profit artificial intelligence research company. He is an advocate for the advancement of technology and future travel on Mars. He came up with the concept of landing a miniature greenhouse on Mars that would contain food crops, and that was in 2001. And thankfully, he has no plans of stopping anytime soon. Number 12. Technology can improve workplace and teamwork. Technology can be used for many things, and while it can seem counterintuitive at first, it can also improve human relationships if used accordingly. Take, for example, teamwork. A major reason why people quit their jobs is a lack of teamwork in an organization, and companies find it hard to encourage or improve teamwork among employees. However, there are ways to make it work through technology. Think about how much easier it is to collaborate through efficient tools, work on tasks using cloud technology, and how much better we can get at our work if we use the right productivity tools. More support from your colleagues also helps you deal better with stress and learn faster, which is an overall win-win situation. Number 13. Our planet could be safer and cleaner if we use technology at its fullest potential. We've said it before, but it's still so true. We still have to uncover the full potential of technology, even if it feels like the world is going at a super fast pace right now. But most of all, it's about how we use it, whether it's individually or collectively. But we have negative examples such as the Facebook scandal, but also historical breakthroughs and revolutionary movements. #MeToo, the refugee crisis, and the Panama Papers are all written in our history as examples of how we can change the world with technology. However, the most complex problems also require us to think critically about technology and understand its limitations as well as its strong points. Number 14. Black Mirror shows us what technology might do if it gets out of hand. Even if you think it's not for you, this British science fiction anthology series is a masterpiece, especially because it's less entertainment and more of a show that makes you reflect on every aspect of the way you use technology and how it affects your life. Created and written by two comedians, Charlie Brooker and Annabelle Jones, Black Mirror is an examination of our society and modern technology, focusing on its darker side. Each episode is centered on another story and focuses on how the black mirror, or the dark screen, can get to dominate our lives, but taken to an extreme, and it takes place usually in a not-so-far-off future. Number 15. A factory in Japan can run unsupervised for 30 days and is almost entirely manned by robots. Robots are here, and they're getting better every day. How good are they? Well, there's a factory in Japan named Fanuc that could run for a month without human supervision, and the employees are actually robots. These types of factories are called lights-out factories, and Fanuc has been around since 2001. What happens is that the robots are used to make other robots and can produce about 50 per day, and, well, to put it bluntly, they're way more low maintenance than people are. As the vice president of the company has stated, we turn off the air conditioning and the heat too. And that's all for today, Aluxers. Thanks for watching. Now make sure to tell us in the comments, what jobs do you think will be taken by robots? Still here? Of course you are, because we have another bonus fact for you. Number 16. 1 out of 8 married couples actually met each other on the internet. The next time a friend suggests turning to online dating to find a life partner, you might want to follow that advice, since 1 in 8 marriages in the United States has actually started online. That is around a third of all recent marriages. Also, research says that among 19,000 individuals who found love online are a bit happier than those who met their significant others offline, and online couples apparently are less likely to separate. It just shows that turning to online dating is getting more and more common, and soon there'll be no shame or stigma associated with meeting a partner online. Services like OkCupid or Match.com are very popular, but social media is also a catalyst for romantic relationships. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.